Welcome to Authentic with Brazil 201. I'm your host, Brazil 201. Today's episode is about Wicked, a movie we're all holding space for. Now, full disclosure, I just want to say I have a vote for many of the award shows, and I am voting for Ariana Grande for Best Supporting Actress. I also think Zoe Saldana should be in lead actress for Emilia Perez. She is in the most screen time for that movie, and she is not Emilia Perez. Just so people understand that she is this lawyer character, but we're not here to talk about Emilia Perez. But I just think Zoe Saldana should be for lead actress, and she should win that. And Ariana Grande is for best supporting actress, who I am voting for. Now, I just want to state with everything, spoiler warning, full spoiler warnings in regards to Wicked. It's been 2 or 3 weeks. I assume everyone's seen Wicked by now. It's made a lot of money. Um, let's talk about how the entire movie. First, Wicked, if you do not know this, it is a prequel to Wizard of Oz. I'm assuming seeing Dorothy and the gang walking the Yellow Brick Road during the little cold open gave it away. And obviously, I never saw the Broadway play, and I do live in New York, but I knew the general things about Wicked. I knew it was a prequel. I knew Defying Gravity ended Act 1. I knew about Popular. And I knew that, Elphaba and Glinda were friends, like the general nonsense in regards to Wicked. Now, the movie I thought was phenomenal. Also, I have a lot of questions now in regards to the movie. Is that because for those of you who do not know this, Wicked, the movie begins at the end of Wizard of Oz, and then we jump back in time to when Glinda and Elphaba meet, right? The Wizard of Oz story takes place around three-fourths in the second act. Like, The Wizard of Oz has to happen in Wicked Part 2, just so people understand that, which means we're getting Dorothy. Obviously, for those who don't know, Elphaba, turns Fario into the Scarecrow, and her wheelchair sister turns the guy that Ariana Grande is, dating in real life into the Tin Man. The lion cub they rescue is the lion that walks with Dorothy, etc. So I hope everyone understands that. I'm very curious at when the Wicked Witch of the East, which is the wheelchair sister, gets her shoes to get her powers, as well as the fact that Glinda clearly knew that the shoes were how Dorothy can get home. So Glinda's kind of the asshole for sending Dorothy on this mission to kill Elphaba. Ariana Grande, no me gusta. But I want to just go through the numbers, what I liked, what I didn't like, which is very few things, what I loved, which is Dancing Through Life. And we'll talk about that as we get to Dancing Through Life. I just wish that the Spotify playlist kept the first 3 minutes of Dancing Through Life because it has the entire 8-minute dance sequence, which is just annoying and a lot of talking. Like, it should end after the Fario and Ariana talk to each other. It's like, "Ooh, you're good," where she plays Bach to talk to the wheelchair girl and all of that. So our first thing is we go straight into the thing, No One Mourns the Wicked, which is right after Wizard of Oz ends, where Elphaba is dead. I'm very confused, though, how Ariana Grande gets her powers, because from what we see is that no one outside Elphaba had powers. And I don't know if this is just how we're going to do witches moving forward. Why are witches treated like Jean Grey or 11 from Stranger Things, where they're psychics, not witches, right? Everything that Elphaba does in the cold open is more I'm a crazy psychic, not I'm a crazy witch who casts spells. Like, even Wanda and Agatha in the Marvel shows do not do their magic in the way that Elphaba does her magic. And I know we have to keep comparing everything to Marvel, but I'm just saying they made her more like, a psychic than a witch. Obviously, spoilers. Um, what's his name? The Wizard, Oz, is her father, Jeff Goldblum. Good for him. Drinking that, green potion had a green child. Truly magical situations here and everything. We do No One Mourns the Wicked. It's great. It's phenomenal. Then we go to Dear Old Shiz, which is the first thing as they all go to college. I am curious, though, As someone who's 32 and also plays an 18-year-old on television, I like how everybody at Shiz University is 33 to 38 and pretending to be 19. Now, look, Ariana Grande has looked the exact same since Victorious. I have pretty much looked the exact same since 2011. And everyone looks, I wanna say 22 outside, Elphaba, who I thought was 42. I don't know why they did that choice. And this movie wasn't really delayed from the strikes because they finished Wicked Part 1 before the strikes, right? Wicked Part 2 was the one that was affected, and Wicked Part 2 has all the original songs apparently, which is phenomenal. Good for Ariana Grande, who probably wrote one of the songs and is going to get an Oscar nomination next year for Wicked Part 2. I do wonder if they renominate her character next year for Wicked Part 2, because I don't think Part 2 is the better aspect of Wicked. Like, I know everything that happens because of Glee, right? Glee is how I got my Wicked knowledge. Rachel Berry and Idina Menzel, like, that's how I know about Popular and Defying Gravity and the whole shebang. And obviously the Idina Menzel and Christian Chenoweth's cameos in going through the Emerald City, which is also stuck in my head because now whenever I take the ferry to work, the skyline of Manhattan looks like the Emerald City. Though, I'm very curious at what year they're going to make real life, the real world in Wicked Part 2 in. Like, is it going to be the 1960s, like the original Wizard of Oz movie, or are we going to be in like modern 2024 for when Dorothy and the gang come to Oz, because that changes the whole story. Like, is Dorothy gonna be a TikTok influencer who ends up in Oz with her iPhone, or is it gonna be a 1960s white girl? Who knows? Whatever. Then we have the wonderful thing is that Ariana Grande is basically Blair Waldorf with magic in this movie, and I love it. The hair flip and everything. I love me a basic white girl with thick eyebrows and everything, and I will not apologize for that. Hashtag sorry, not sorry. Right. But then we have what is this feeling? The sequence where they fight each other and it's kind of very like in the Parent Trap sequence, and it's phenomenal. It's great. Obviously, everyone's seen the TikTok thing where you bang on the book 5 times, you tilt right, you move your arm left, and then you side right to left. I have so many of the dances stuck in my head that I constantly do as TikToks while I'm waiting for the ferry every morning to go to work. Then we have the weird animal subplot, which I forgot is a thing in the Oz movies where, you know, the administration and the government is trying to de-evolve the talking animals so they'll just become animals, and we have the only talking animal left in Shiz that has no purpose. He's just there to teach history, and Ariana Grande is like, "Why do we need to know about history if it's in the past? Isn't history about the future?" And I'm just very confused because history is about the past. That's great. And the funniest part of everything is the whole that this is where Alphaba and the talking goat bond, and there's this secret society for a sequence where they're talking about they're taking the animals, they're going to change us and de-evolve us, and they're doing it really in the open. No wonder why the guy gets caught up by ICE and gets deported from Shiz University halfway through the movie. Funniest thing is because I go to for your consideration screenings, right? I have not seen a movie with the general public in years outside Barbie and Oppenheimer because that was during the strike, so I couldn't go to like for your consideration screenings for that or press premieres. The girl next to me at the Wicked for your consideration screener, right? When the goat man, Peter Dinklage, gets kidnapped, she says, "Is this how Trump's mass deportations are gonna go?" And I just couldn't stop laughing because I'm like, I don't know. And it's just like everyone kind of chuckled in my ear for it. And I was like, I guess so. But anyway, they do What Is This Feeling? Then we go through my favorite sequence, which is Dancing Through Life. Our king fuckboy comes to Shiz. He's like, I got kicked out of every university. I'm good looking. Ariana Grande has her hot. I'm a sexy witch wizard dress thing. They do the sequence, and there's a whole thing on the Variety YouTube channel about how it took 2 weeks to shoot this with the spinning hamster wheel. I love this dance sequence so much because also I need to buy a book that I'm able to surf on concrete because I keep trying to do the TikTok. Like I know the entire sequence of, move your arms and leg twice, then you jump twice, and then you spin around. Then you have to surf on the book. I keep trying to surf on the book, and the one book I have has just been destroyed that I keep trying to surf on. But dancing through life after the actual 3 minute of the good part of Jonathan Bailey and Ariana Grande is just annoying nonsense of like Bach talking to the girl. And then it's this whole we're sneaking out of school to go to the club and they take a boat. And then, Ariana Grande and him are hooking up in the club. And the teacher is like, here's your training wand. And then the whole sad sequence with, Elphaba where she dances by herself with the hat and all the other nonsense thing happens. Then they become friends because she's like, "Oh, no, that wasn't good. She did good things for me, now I gotta help her." Ariana Grande then, they do Popular, which is fantastic. I love it. Obviously, I'm used to hearing the Leah Michele version from Glee. Then they do this whole segment where they go on the magical subway to the Emerald City. And it's great. Actually, no. Flash forward. No, the lion. That's right. They kidnap the goat man. Then they bring in the lion. Everyone falls asleep for magical reasons, except for Jonathan Bailey and Elphaba. It's great. They do this thing. That's the lion that becomes the lion that they all hang out with. Though it is weird that in Wizard of Oz, the Tin Man, Scarecrow, and the lion are all pretending they don't know each other, and they were all obsessed with the same woman for years, like clearly. What a weird week of school it's been for them. Then we do One Short Day, which is great, in the whole Emerald City. Then, our epic hero moment where she becomes Iron Man is Defying Gravity. She actually, before Defying Gravity, she gets the grimoire. And I'm going to call it a grimoire because of the Vampire Diaries, not whatever the fuck they keep calling it in Wicked. The grimoire, and she turns the monkeys into flying monkeys, which is crazy. And then we learn the spells can't be reversed. By the way, people, that's called foreshadowing for when, the Tin Man part and the Scarecrow and all the other shit happens. There's no reversing these spells, okay? By the way, they're called foreshadowing, not Easter eggs. Clearly, the vernacular has changed that people think everything is an Easter egg. No, it's called foreshadowing, okay? Not an Easter egg, just so people understand that. But anyway, then the wizard, because he sees that, Elphaba doesn't want to do everything in regards to like change the city, he learns the wizard. Though she doesn't figure out the wizard is her dad, but the wizard is evil. He's the reason the animals are de-evolving or whatever. I kind of like the political climate of fucking Oz, where just because he's like, oh no, she turned the monkeys into flying monkeys. I just was like, "Wow, we need to kill her." They're like, "Yeah, we gotta kill her." What about the climate in Oz? Is there no prisons? They're just straight to murder. We need to kill her. And obviously, there's a massive time skip in Wicked Part 2, where it's at least 5 to 6 years later, where she's, I guess, on the run. And it's like, "Yeah, we need to murder this woman," which is crazy. They've just been trying to kill her for for years, and they clearly don't do a good job. But then there was this leaked trailer from CinemaCon where Glinda and Elphaba are talking to each other. He's like, "Wow, you're still riding that broom," and she's like, "Wow, I don't get to teleport via bubble." Very curious how Ariana Grande gets her powers, because Ariana Grande had no powers in this movie. Nobody had any hint of powers in this movie outside Elphaba. Though they all learn how to make potions and the cooking and all the other bullshit that happens in this movie. I love it. And that's just how it works. But then we do Defying Gravity, which is fantastic, and how it gets better. It kind of goes a lot longer though than like the actual version in Glee, where they pause, the broom comes. I do think this is the best flying we have seen in any movie. I think they have to make flying more like how they did it in Wicked, because they fly better than Iron Man, than Superman, than Captain Marvel. The way she flies and the cape flows looks fantastic, looked realistic. I'm in. I can't wait. I've seen this movie 3 times at screeners. I can't personally wait till I get my Blu-ray screener that they mailed to me like around Christmas time, so I can like just watch this movie on a loop. I love Wicked. If I were to rank it for the 10, which I do have to do for like the 10 best movies of the year, I think it's somewhere at 3 or 4. My number one right now is A Complete Unknown, which I'm not allowed to talk about, I believe, till about a week or two from now. But A Complete Unknown is my number one. I think two, maybe Wicked. 3 and 4 have been Honora, Amelia Perez. 5, I want to say Gladiator 2. 6 is We Live in Time. 7, God, I have a list somewhere. I'm gonna look for this right now. Right, but I do think whatever. Oh yeah, here we go. Sorry, I know I'm being very. Oh yeah, the SNL movie, September 5th, Dune 2, Baby Girl, or the others that are rounding up 5 through 10. But really, 1 is A Complete Unknown, 2 is Wicked, 3 is Honora, 4 is Amelia Perez, 5 is Gladiator 2. And full disclosure, what I'm voting for actors and actresses for is best actor is Timothy, best supporting actor is Denzel. Assuming Zoe Saldana is in best lead actress, I'm voting for her. Ariana Grande will be my best supporting actress. That is everything in regards to Wicked. I personally loved it. I can't stop listening to Dancing Through Life and What Is This Feeling. Defying the Gravity, I really don't listen to a lot. It's just Dancing Through Life and What Is This Feeling. They're on a constant loop. And I'm really glad that the Spotify rap stopped syncing right before Wicked came out, or my top 5 would have been vastly different. But that is another episode of Authentic with Brazil 201. I'm your host, Brazil 201. We'll be back, I believe, Sunday to talk about Landman. Yeah, Landman episode 5. So remember to like and subscribe.